So in this module, you examined how glacier melting impacted the average thickness of a glacier in Antarctica over a certain time interval. Using the interactive graph in the VR module, you saw that every 5 years, the average thickness of the glacier decreased by 4. That meant that it had a slope, so I'm going to write this down. That meant that it had a slope of -4 over 5, right? That's what we did on our VR thing. And so now let's investigate another glacier in Alaska. So this one says, let's say that this Alaskan glacier every 4 years has a thickness that decreases by 3. Well, what would that slope be? What do you guys think? -3 over 4. And then it says, the diagram illustrates the average thickness of the glacier over time from the years 2024, 2028, and 2032. So, again, in 2020, that equals 4,500. You could think of this as 0. You could think of this as 4. You could think of this as 8 years after 2020. And you could think of this as 12 years. And so then we're going to have the following points, 0, 4,500. What's the next point going to be? 4, what?
9. I can't do that.
Yeah, it's 4497, right? And, well, I said when you get to the end, it seems like the same thing twice, but we'll go over it together. So anyways, now we got to use the diagram to fill this in. So every 4 years, it decreases by 3. So here's the thing I don't know if you picked up on, is that to get from here to here, what did we do? We subtracted 3. To get from here to here, what did we do? We added 4. Remember that your slope is the change in y over the change in x. These are our x values. These are our y values. So to get to the next value, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to subtract 3 again, so I get 4494. Let me double check by looking at the graph. Yep, that's what I got, 4494. And to get the last value, I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to subtract 3, which will give me 4491. Over here, I'm just adding 4 every time. Adding 4, and then lastly, adding 4. So it says, what pattern do you see between the outputs in your table? Describe this in a sentence. We subtract -3, and then in parentheses put -3 from the previous term to get the next term. It says, use the pattern above for how the glacier changes every 4 years. Can you determine the average thickness in 1 year? Well, yeah, so what they're saying is if I say 4,500, they give us the first example, -3 over 4 times 1. What you're going to do is you're going to plug that in your calculator, and it should be, what's the number that it should be? Yeah, 4497, right? Oh, shoot. So I'm going to plug in my calculator. I'm going to say 4,500. Oops. Clear that out. 4,500 minus, in parentheses, 3 divided by 4 times 1. Now, it's a different number, isn't it? So we could plug that in. That was 44, what was it, 90, 9925, right? So we're basically, well, we'll talk about that in a second. What we're doing is we are, let me pull this down. So that's horrible penmanship on my part. So this is 4495, not 95, 99.25. 0.25, okay? And then we do this again, and I'm going to say 4500 minus 3/4. We'll put that in parentheses, times 2. Now, I'm going to guess and say that it's 4498.5. So let's plug that in the calculator. Now, here's a little trick I want to show you. If I go up here and I hit enter, it'll enter that in, and then I just change the 1 to a 2. I use the cursor to get there, and I change that to 2, hit enter. There it is. All right. And then let's do the next one, too. So I go up here. I'm going to change that to a 3. Let me guess. 4497.75. You ready? Let's see if Mr. Adams is right. Oh, man, I'm good. So 4497.75. 4,500 minus 3/4 times 3 is equal to 4497.75. Now it says graph this. Well, I'm going to say that this is 4,500, and I don't go below 4,900. So I'm gonna make this 4499. I'm going to make this 4498, and then I'm gonna make this 4497. Then over here, I'm gonna make this 1 year. Let me move my face out of the way. And about the same distance, I'm going to make this 2 years, and then the same distance, I'm going to make this 3. So then my first one is 0, 4,500. The next one is going to be 1, 4499.25. So it's about 1/4 of the way here. I'll make a big dot right here. This is 1, 4499.25. Just a little bit above the 4499. My next point is going to be 2, 98.5. So that would be smack dab in the middle here. So that's going to be 2, 98.5. Notice that they're kind of forming a line. And then my next one is 97.75, which is about right here. So that would be 3, let me move my face out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing here. 44,975. Now, as long as you space stuff out somewhat evenly, that should be okay. And I will say this, is that you could draw a little squiggly line here that lets you know that there's a bunch of information that goes from this to 0, right? So it says, using your table from Part D and your graph from Part E, write the equation. Well, the equation is all this stuff except we're plugging in for t for time, or you could plug in x. So then you would say that my y value is equal to negative 3/4 x plus 4,500. Or if you did it like yesterday's assignment, oh no. There's a little button on my thing. I accidentally hit the button. Or you could say y equals 4,500 minus 3/4 times t. Okay? Any questions so far? Is this making sense?
Yeah.
This is just like what we did yesterday. Now here's where we're going to do something that's a little different. It says Bianca wants a headset that costs $304 to earn the money. She has decided to start a lemonade stand. Her cousin Shayna has a lemonade stand for several months already in another town, and Bianca wants to use Shayna's business as a model for her own. Some important information about her cousin's lemonade stand. She invested $36 at the startup to buy lemon sugar cups. Shayna did not start selling lemonade until June. Bianca intends to spend the same amount of money for cost. That's important. So in other words, she's going to spend $36. And Shayna has recorded her total earnings each month in the diagram below. Note that in May, her cost was negative 36 because that was her startup cost. So now we just have to fill in the space. We have to fill in this table of values. In other words, if this is 0, right, then this would be 1, this would be 2, and this would be 3. So what is the value after the first month? Well, let me zoom out a little bit. Negative 36 is the 0 month, but 144. Okay, good. You guys are getting ahead of me a little bit. The second one is what? 124. And then the next one is 204, right? And I heard somebody blot out $80 a month. Is that what you said? No, it's more than 80. Is it 80? All right, so it's $80. So they're making $80 per month. That's what they're taking in. I don't know why I wrote that backwards. And that's $80, and we're counting by 1 month. That's important. So this is 1. We're counting by ones in this column. This is our X value. So our change in X each month is 1. Our change in Y each month is a positive 80. What do you think the slope is? Well, it's delta Y, the change in Y over the change in X, which is 80 over 1, or 80, right? $80 per month is what she's making. So it says, what do you see the pattern of the outputs being? Describe it. She makes $80 per month. That's her unit rate per 1 month. It says, using the pattern above, Shayna's earnings change every month. Can you determine the average amount she earns every week? For this math model, let's assume there's exactly 4. So you got to read this carefully. How much is she making per month? Well, if she's making 80 per month, right? Let's assume there are 4 weeks in a month. They want to know what she's making per week. How do I figure that out? Yeah, divided by 4, right? So she's making $20 per week. How many of you guys got that answer?
200.
What? Who put 200 down? What kind of crazy person did that? I just started writing zeros and so now if I want to figure out how much I make per week, then I do the same thing. I'm going to say negative 36 plus 20 times 2. So what's that give you, though? Well, let's do the math. This one is just going to be 36, negative 36. This one's going to be a positive 44, right? And this next one, oh, wait, per week, it's not going to be that. It's not going to be that because I got to do the math. So let's do the math on the calculator. I almost made that mistake the last time. So I'm going to say negative, I'm going to say negative 36 plus 20 times 1. So that'd be negative 16. So after the first week, she'll make some money, but she'll still be in the hole $16. Oh. So she hasn't quite made a profit yet. And then for the next one, I'm going to add 20 to that. And so she'll be in a profit of 4. Let me double check that. I'm doing that in my head. Again, if I want to, I could just go up to this and hit enter. And then before I hit enter on the calculator, I change that to a 2. Yep, it's 4. And then now to do the same thing for 3, I could say negative 36 plus, this is supposed to be 20. You guys are supposed to be paying attention and correcting me. So that would be $24, right? Negative 36 plus 20 times 4, that would be $44. And then negative 36 plus 20 times 5 would be $64. Okay? Now, if I were to write an equation for that, well, wait, first we got to graph this. I've got 5 units going this way. And if this is 36, then this is 36. So now how I count up here, I'm going to let you in on a clue. If I kind of draw a straight line through these dots and keep the line fairly straight, the values should match up. Okay? So this would be 5. And so right here, didn't we say that was $4? So it'd be 2 comma 4. Right here, we said that would be 3 comma 24. Right here, this would be 4 comma 44. And then right here, we'll make a big dot there. This would be 5 comma 64. And that's all you got to do there. Please label those points. So what's that equation then? What's the slope? What's the slope?
120.
Well, it's 20, not 120. What's the y-intercept?
40.
No.
50. 80. 90. Right on.
How is it that you could...
Oh.
Where does it cross the y-axis? I can't. I can't. I know you weren't listening. It's obvious. So now, Bianca, this is the part where it's interesting. So it says solidify, and now it's asking you, basically it gives you the same information in the same chart. And it says complete the table to show how Shayna's total earnings of her lemonade stand have changed each month. Well, now in May, she kind of does the same thing. So there really isn't much of a change, right? This month, it's going to be 44. Wait, when it's 0, it's negative 36, right? This time, it's 44. The next time, it's 124. The next time, it is 204. Okay, so they're telling you the same thing. It says she buys it, she makes the lemonade. Bianca intends to spend the same amount. And it says, what pattern do you see? It's the same thing. Increases by $80 per month. It says using the patterns, figure out what it is per week. Same thing that we did before. And so some of the kids were like, I can't believe it's the same question twice. Well, you're going to see why in a second. So this will be $20 per week. This time it's still going to increase by 26, so you're going to say negative 36, or not 26 by 20. This becomes negative 16. This is going to be positive 4, and then 24, and then 44, and then 64. And then we got to sketch the graph. It's basically the same thing, but now you've got to plot the points. So I'm still negative here. So this would be like 1, this would be like 2, this would be like 3, this would be like 4, this would be like 5. And so you plot your line basically the same that you did before. And so this would be, this point here would be 0, comma, negative 36. This would be 1, comma, negative 16. This point right here would be 2, comma, 4. This point right here would be 3, comma, 24. This point right here is 4, comma, 44. And then this point right here would be 5, comma, 64. So nothing has changed there. Then if we were to, based on the table, what would be her, using the table from part D and the table from part B or E create the equation? Well, we would say that her profits, and I would accept even y equals mx plus b, y is equal to 20 times x minus 36, where this is the initial condition. You're not done yet. We're going to go over this, but yeah, you turn it into the inbox, and this is the slope. Then it says use this equation to figure out how much she needs to buy her headset. Now this is the difference. She needs to make $304. If she does exactly, so here's the thing. If she does the exact same sales as Shana does, and remember, she's trying to raise $304, then we need to set this equal to this equation. In other words, what is 304 equals 20 times x minus 36. So now we got to solve. We're going to add 36 to both sides. Did you guys figure this out? All right. Well, good. You're smarty pantses. Equals 20x. And you divide by 20, and I think somebody said the right answer is 17, right? Is it?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, let's see. Let's do that on the calculator. Wait a second. 340 divided by 20?
Divided by 20. You just added 17. That equals 17, and then minus 36 is 340.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So X is 17 weeks.
So for negative 36.
No, that's it. That's the answer. 17 weeks.
I accidentally put 34 36.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So 17 weeks is how long she has to have the lemonade stand to make the money to buy her headphones. Now, the next question is, the data's the same. They want you to do the same thing again, but the different part is what?
The month.
Well, we're going to run out of time, so we'll finish this in a part 2. Well, let me see. We have 7 minutes. Yes.
I know, but it's G and H. Those are like.
All right. So this one says complete the table of our lemonade stand. Month is 0. So this is per week, yes? No, it's per month. So it's negative 36. This one was, what was it? Negative 16?
No, that's 44. It's 44.
Oh, it's 44. That's right. So this one is 44 and then 124. 44, 124, and then 204. So that hasn't changed. Describe what's happening. Increase.
580.
$80 per month. Using that pattern and the change of every month, can you determine amount that she earns per week? Yes. 80 divided by 4 equals 20 per week. So that's kind of the same, right? D says, what's the slope of the function? We know the slope in the initial value, so it's going to be per week would be 20x minus 36. And then E says, what does the function look like over time? You got to sketch it. It's basically the same function that you have before. And then it says, use the equation to buy her new headset. Well, we know that x equals 17, right? Same as above. She plans to keep it for 30 weeks using your equation. How much money will she have earned by then? So we say y is equal to 20 times 30 minus 36. Plug that in our handy-dandy calculator. And then we get 20 times 30 minus 36. What is that? 564. So that means that y will equal $564. How much will she have left over after buying the headset? Well, then that would be 564 minus 304. And what'd you guys get, 260? Let me double check on the calculator. Minus 304. $260. And that's G. H says that her sales over the summer is over around week 13. How much changes the slope after week 13 and onwards? How will the change of the steepness of the function, in other words, do this in graphs and pictures? So they want you to draw a graph of what it will look like. So I'm going to draw a graph. So I've got this, and I've got this perfectly drawn graph. And so this would be week 13. And so you have a graph that's a straight line like this up until this point. And then the graph is less steep. Does that make sense? That's all you got to do. This is weeks, and this is dollars. See, we're able to finish the whole thing. Put your names on your papers and put them in the inbox. You guys are 5th hour, in case you were wondering.